added a pause here on the content warning. It is a horror game and it's not intended for all audiences. You won't be able to save everyone. You might not even be able to save yourself. Welcome home. Alright. Get ready for a lot of reading. Wait, do I click start? Does that... Oh wait, no, that restarts the game. I don't want to do that. Chapter end. Whoa, cancel, return. Load. Okay, load. Okay. Episode 4 waits. If you'd like to save, you can maybe do so now. You'd like to see a recap before starting episode 4. Yeah, let's do a full recap. Okay. A long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides and countless late-night stops and seedy depots, and felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Pearl and Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Oh, it doesn't show Bus Guy? I'm wearing Bus Guy's shirt. I want to. Yeah?
Welcome to our family's humble estate.
Oh yeah, I was doing voice acting. I can't remember her voice.
Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out.
A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Oops. I'm trying to activate kitty cam. Come on, you, whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and give me a line up a good shot. Help me line up a good shot. As the creatures in the tree line grow louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. You dive forward and scoop Gretchen into your arms just before she manages to wriggle out of her harness. Your eyes fixate on the dark tree line over Duke's shoulder. God damn it.
Stella, keep an eye on him for us. Make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble. My grandmother called them ditchlings. They are a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come.
The relative safety of your cousin's uncomfortable guest bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can sincerely picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe and you're warm.
But listen, you better stay out of trouble. If I want you home by sunset. I don't want to hear complaints. Just do what I ask and we won't have any more problems.
Tabitha takes a few steps toward the door.
Sunset!
Winnie could fix you some of Sybil's new blend. Maybe it'll help calm you down a bit.
I think you'll like today's mix. It's Shaga and Lemon Balm. Should help ease your stress and tension.
If you feel like talking, I'll be all ears.
I see you're a private person. I can respect that. You never know how someone might respond to hearing the truth of what you encountered last night.
Have either of you seen Rosalina around town? Oh, it's Daddy. Hi, Daddy. I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there.
Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if we could come hang out. Nothing strenuous, we promise. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what you can manage right now anyways. Stay home. Wait for the week to end. Don't keep putting yourself in the path of danger. This is all I ask.
This is Wayne. Apparently Wayne is a romanceable option now after the entire community thirsted after him. Or them. You're interrupted by a sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill.
She didn't. What guess old Maxwell Place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days.
But the Shaw mine? That place is shut down like 100 years ago. After the collapse, it killed over 100 people. You pull out your phone and dial your cousin.
What is it? You know, I'm in a meeting.
You just snuck into the Shaw mine. I figured you should know.
What? Are you serious? Why do things keep happening to me? Whatever. I'll head over there as soon as I can. Just stay where you are and wait for me, alright? God, I don't even know why I'm trying to reason with you. It's not like you'll listen. My dad is the foreman at the continuous mining facility and says they're only abandoned this mine because there wasn't enough coal left. But it's actually really safe. We can hang out here whenever we want. Correction! Your father was the foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job tomorrow morning. My dad says our house is haunted.
I'm running out of voices. Oh. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. This part was wild. Wait a second, where'd 3 of you run off to? Are you kidding me? There's something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest like the deep growl of a predator.
What do you think you're doing? Get away from there.
Cousin dives towards you, but not before the light from her phone illuminates the chamber. Oh, one of the seals?
Beautimus, are you alright? Wait, back on your exits are still down there. You can't just leave them here. I know which way they are going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise.
Your surroundings quake as the mine collapses around you. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. You collapse in Tabitha's dusty guest bed, your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. When you close your eyes, you see Rosalina's face, twisted with pain, staring up at you with tear-streaked cheeks. Trapped by powers beyond her control, terrified of what her now uncertain future would hold. There are 2 of them now. Are you ready to leave? As you are ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the 2 of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Beautimus, before you go, I heard what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now. Then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for Oscar and poor little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened to nicer people.
Morning! Is the new blend ready? Of course! Beautimus, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute.
Excuse me? Wait, you're Beautimus, aren't you? My name is Beau. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Policeman told me you saw what happened to my daddy.
Keep bringing me jello. I love it here, but Dad, I miss you. When are you coming back?
The nurses just need me to make sure your living situation is all squared away. Then I'll come get you, Rosa, just a few more hours.
Is that?
Oscar practically jumps out of his skin as he turns and sees you. Oh, hey, Beautimus. I didn't hear you come in. He's a dog. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. Before you catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. It's hard to put a finger on it, but something compels you to dislike this man. Sounds like Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Beautimus. Everyone's been buzzing about you. So sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. Ever like to discuss your beliefs? My door is always open. Shattered Tie, hello! We are mid-recap for the last 3 chapters of the game. We're about to jump into chapter 4. Cute cat cam. Yeah, I got Perlocks in my... And you can see Cat Sword Butt right here. And angle it up a little so you can see Cat Sword too. Are you gonna jump in my lap too? How are you doing, Shadow Tie? Hope you're having a good New Year's Adam. Oh, bye, Cassor. You said my name, that mean I get food? That mean I get switches? The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Your mom is so scary. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Hey! Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You ought to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. I haven't been cleaning much. He tried to knock something off the desk. Took a lot of time off, it's been great. I'm okay. I've got a 4-day weekend, which is kind of nice. Oh, the awkward dinner. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolled spaghetti and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her fools. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense. His shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. So, we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week while Butimus is still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is sure. Is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends have been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends over. He stops mid-sentence, moonsing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. What is with Stella's face right here? That's like a I'm dead inside face, or just disassociating. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix... Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Hey, you're just in time. Rosalina's situated in the back room. Alexis is gonna keep her company while we hopefully get this sorted out. Oh yeah, the haunting! Are you okay, kitty cat? You keep kicking me. Whoa. This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained in reddish brown. I mean, Oscar's on camera, so I do deserve a horny bonk. I'm going for it. Oh, Stella. Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Who are you? What are you doing on my property? Before you have a chance to think, another door creaks open on what you thought was the ceiling. There you are. This is quite the maze, isn't it? I'm absolutely crawling with these miserable little parasites. Wish. Bottom feeders. The sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. Forfeit 4 years and I will finally leave. You come to in a basement, a mound of packed dirt in front of you. Your friends are nowhere to be seen, but Wayne lurks by the stairwell, so he's been patiently waiting for you to wake up. There you are, and it looks as if you're all in one piece. Sybil pauses mid-sentence as she notices Wayne from the corner of her eyes. Come with me, dear. Let's get you home. It was a close call. Make sure nothing happens to him or there'll be hell to pay. I'm so sorry, Butimus. I don't think I can talk right now. I'll call you, okay? He hurries off down the road. Butimus, why don't you swing by the tea room tomorrow, say early afternoon? I'd love to chat for a little while. Come by anytime. I'll be there all day. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're trying to do 2 laps. 2 cats. 2 cats. 2 cats in the lap. Oh, hi. Hi, cat sword. Oh. Oh, my hand. You okay, Perlox? Oh, Perlox is done. Oof. Okay, Perlox did not feel like cuddling with Catsor. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. has been put to rest, but disaster still looms over the town of Scarlet Hollow. Still, tonight was a good night. You fall asleep, a gentle, well-earned smile on your face. Yep. My turn with the lap. He hasn't had... Perlix has been on my lap at least 2 hours already today. Okay. Set. Is that whispering? Can anyone else hear whispering? Alright, wake up. Day 4, or Wednesday. You open your eyes. It's a new day. Last night seemed so far away you can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare, chased away by the harsh morning light. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand.
Hope you made it home okay? Haven't heard from Stella since last night. How about you?
Check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Let's call Stella. You dial Stella.
Hey, what's up? Just kidding. I'm not able to come to the phone right now. This is actually a recording of my voice. It isn't really me. Technology, huh? Anyways, leave a message, or don't. I never check this thing.
Mailbox is full. It can't accept messages at this time. Hey, you good? I'm kinda worried you ran off. Text me see name. Kanik and I are worried. How's my favorite cryptid hunted? Hey, send a photo of a nervous puppet. Kanik and I are pretty worried about you. Please respond. You wait for a few silent minutes. Your message says undelivered. Undelivered? What if Wing does Stella disappear like this sometimes? Does Stella disappear like this sometimes?
Kinda, but with everything going on, I don't feel comfortable letting her run off on her own.
You should look for her, right? Come to town, we should stick together. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. Let's visit the opossum. You open the drawers. 2 opossums stare up at you. They both have a bread... Now, that's nice. Wave. You wave at them. They continue to stare at you blankly in response. Close the doors. They're home now. There's nothing you can do to change that. Check the closet. Make your way to the closet. There's no denying it. The doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. Oh, it did? Hold on, hold on, hold on. It moved? Did I take a... Oh, did I not... I thought I took a picture of the doll the last time. Oh man, to know if it actually moved or not. But your long-dead relative's creepy doll is the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. Something to mull over for the rest of the day. Take a shower. You might as well take a shower before starting the rest of your day. Step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. Feels good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually you'll have to leave this place and confront the rest of the day. In the meantime, you... Every minute feels like another thread holding down sounds out of doom. Think about the door in the clinic. Think about the afterlife. Think about Stella. Think about Rosalina. Think about Duke. Think about Sybil's warning. Think about Wayne. I do like to pick the mystical options. Or maybe we'll think about Oscar. About someone special. You think about someone specially. Specifically, you think about Stella, Kanika, Avery, Oscar, Reese, Dr. Kelly, Wayne. Wayne has effortlessly crunched the discipline. Oscar, the shy and handsome town librarian. He and his daughter finally have their house back, and nobody had to sacrifice anything to get there. You should pay them a visit today. You're done here. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Time to face your cousin. You find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched, in a tight ball of anxiety.
They're striking this week of all weeks, as if I didn't have enough on my plate already.
If history is anything to go off here, this almost doesn't matter how strong the strike seems. This is Tabitha's battle to lose. There isn't a union in Scarlet Hollow, which means a proper strike isn't even legal. Your cousin can do pretty much whatever she wants. She could fire everyone and wait them out, or pick and choose her targets. That being said, does it even matter how the strike plays out? Any resolution would be merely treat the symptoms of the disease rotting the heart of Scarlet Hollow. For things to stand any chance of getting better, there's something deeper you still have to fully uncover. Yeah, this is Frou Frou. Can I even talk to Frou Frou? Oh, I can. If the mine's in trouble, you should just sell it and sell the estate. Get out while you still can. Tabitha bristles. You really are Vivian's kid, aren't you? Trying to bow just when things get difficult? I'm not giving up like that. This is the Scarlet Mine. I'm not just going to cash out on our family's legacy. I'm bringing the mine back to life one way or another. Oh, I could try. Oh, let's do Misrule. The strike is just a symptom of the rot in this place, Tabitha. If we don't treat the underlying disease, it won't even matter who wins.
Ugh, you weirdo. No one talks like that. Not even Sybil talks like that.
But it's not worth arguing about this. They won't last long. You know what the strikers even want?
I haven't seen a list of demands, but I'm sure it's just the usual. Promise you that if any one of them were in my shoes for a month, they'd be singing a different tune.
So that's why the ditchlings are here. They were predicting the strike.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You probably should have seen this coming.
Who's to say I didn't? It isn't really a matter of if, more a question of when.
Forgive me if I didn't expect them to walk out a few days before my mother's funeral. Wouldn't even wait until Perline was in the ground. Usually I'm pro-union, but... I need some time to think. You work hard too, they should realize that.
Right, as if it's easy being the boss.
So ghosts are real, I still can't get over that.
Still sticking to the ghost story, huh? I really don't have time to indulge her a little bit.
Have you heard anything from Stella? I can't get a hold of her. Oh, that was an interesting look on her face. Like concern or fear?
No, but it's not exactly newsworthy. She tends to just disappear every now and then. She's tough. She'll be able to take care of herself.
Should probably get going, right?
Yeah. I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe. No more hijinks. But let me know if you get in trouble, okay?
Oh, so she does kind of care. I don't think in this playthrough my relationship with Tabitha isn't great. Even though she is my cousin, but I've made her very angry. Tabitha slips past you, her heavy boots thudding down the hall as she marches away to face her employees. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Oh yeah, let's have PB&J. If Stella's MIA, who knows when you'll get a chance to eat. You make yourself a PB&J in anticipation for the long day ahead of you. And that's that. Oh, I can't talk to Frou Frou. It's time to head to town. I don't have Speak with Animals. Maybe I'll do another playthrough where I have Speak with Animals and I could talk to the cat. Head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. The sun shines down through a thin layer of clouds, illuminating the path in a watery gray light. Can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line, a feeling that reminds you of your time in the woods with Stella. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. Oh, you can see them. As you continue the trek to town, you pause to stare out at the mountain range beyond the holler, contemplating a world that's blissfully unaware of the danger threatening the citizens of this tiny town. The world outside feels less real with each passing day, as the strange reality of what's happening in Scarlet Hollow gently uproots what you'd always taken to be truths of our world. Your everyday worries seem distant, overshadowed by a fear and dread that hasn't stopped building up since the moment you stepped off that bus. It isn't long until your journey from the estate is over, you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow.
Beautimus, you made it down the hill in one piece, thank God.
It's a nice outfit.
I didn't realize there were so many of those ditchling things around, or I would have driven up to get you. I can't believe they're outside during the day. It's wrong. How are you doing?
Worried about Stella, excited. I'm mostly just worried about Stella right now. I'll feel better when we find her.
I'm sure she's okay, but yeah, the peace of mind would be nice.
I'm supposed to see your mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things.
I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told us all last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune. I should probably stop making fun of her whole New Age mystic vibe. Lots happened in the past couple of days. Still, there'll be plenty of time for tea after we've looked for Stella.
So, ghosts, huh?
Yeah, ghosts. I don't know about you, but I'm currently staving off a massive existential crisis about the state of matter and what being alive means.
Any idea why Stella was so upset? Being possessed seemed awful, but she's the only one who ran off.
Could be a lot of things. She could have hit her breaking point stress-wise. She could have been horrified by meeting a ghost for the first time. She could be traumatized by what the ghost did. But at the end of the day, I have no idea. We'll just have to find her and see if she wants to stop running from it and finally just talk things out.
Oh. This information is destroying me.
Same here, buddy. At this point, I'd much rather it turned out to be a town-wide gas leak from the mines, and I could leave town and return to the normal world where there aren't any creepy ghouls or ghosts prowling around. Still, everyone experienced the same thing. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think we should probably just operate under the assumption that ghosts are real from here on out.
Any leads on Stella?
Haven't had a chance to talk to anyone else yet, so nope, none so far. She ran north last night, but that doesn't mean she didn't double back. Try not to worry too much. It's possible she's safe somewhere, just not answering her phone, but I also don't want to bet on that.
So how are you mentally?
That's a great question. My concept of how the world works is being shattered a little more each day, so that's cool. Every day I feel more and more like I need to get out of this town before it swallows me whole. But I also keep feeling like there are too many reasons to stay. Like right now, I can't leave until I know Stella's okay. With her folks gone, the only people she has are her friends. And as her bestie, I can't just let her go running off into the woods to get eaten by Bigfoot. And my mom is just so chill right now. It's driving me nuts. She just keeps giving me tea and ignoring things I tell her about weird stuff that's been going on around town. I figured if anyone would be interested in magic stuff, it'd be her. But she ends the conversation every time I start talking about it.
Oh, is Sybil hiding something from us? Well, Sybil seems to have some kind of mystical connection, but what exactly it is, we don't really know. I never quite figured that out.
Sorry, I'm ranting. But thanks so much for asking. That was really thoughtful of you, and it helped to talk about it. If you ever need someone to rant at to, I'd be happy to return the favor.
Mom who told us about the gift. Mom's a witch. I know others with my gifts when I meet them. Sybil is probably the most gifted person I've met.
Are you saying she's a witch or something? No way, she's just a funky old lady who's into crystals and herbs and stuff. She doesn't actually know magic.
She might.
I mean, if she were some kind of witch, that would mean everything I thought I knew was wrong, and my whole life has been a lie.
Hasn't that already been happening a lot?
I can't think about this right now. I need to be focused. This thought will just have to get in line with all the other pending existential crises. Crises.
The crisis? Crises? Yeah, it's when people are faced with something that like breaks their previous paradigm, it is very hard to you're experiencing something called cognitive dissonance, Kanika. It's very normal. It takes a long time to paradigm shift into new information. A long time. Someone manning the general store while we go looking for Stella? Mom and Miles can deal for another day while we go looking for Stella. This is important. Not that the store isn't, but if something happened to her and I was spending my time minding the register, I don't think I could live with that. Guess we should get started. Yeah, we're burning daylight. Where to first? Church, Mines, Diner, Oscar. Of course I want to talk to Oscar. We should check in on Oscar. He's smart. Maybe he'll know what to do. Shifty eyes. I hope nothing else happened after we all went home last night. You're so brave for sleeping in that house after everything we went through. I'd rather sleep in the woods with the ditchlings than someplace that was that haunted. Morning light streams in through the library's large window. The bright daylight. It's in the bright daylight. It's again a place of comfort. All menace having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure. No ghost, thank God. I was not up for an encore. Guess Oscar must be in back. And I know that's where I'd be if I finally got my house back. Let's go. Make your way toward back towards the annex. It feels strange to be back here in the light of day, as if the events of the previous evening were all just a terrible dream. More accurately, it feels as if the events of the previous evening were mostly just a dream. That hideous stone carving is still buried in the basement, and though it's subtle and subdued, you can still feel the faintest of hums reaching out from it. This hallway creeps me out. Kanika knocks on the door. Oh, good morning. It's so good to see all of you. Please, come on in. Hi, Daddy. They have a kitty too. Oh, Dr. Kelly's here? Okay. Rosalina looks like she's stoned. You're doing really great, Rosalina. Not a lot of kids your age can take shots that well. You're being so brave. Oscar has a dad bod, yet I think Oscar's really hot. You don't have to talk to me like I'm 5. But you are brave. You really are, Rosalina. You're like so badass. Alexis is right. There is more than most people have to deal with in their whole lives, and here you are taking it like a chump. Dr. Kelly's kind demeanor vanishes as she turns and glares at you. Oh, I see we have visitors. How are you doing, Rosalina? Iron, my leg hurts a lot, but the medicine is helping. It's not so bad now. Yeah, she had her leg amputated 2 days ago. Plus, I got to lie down in an actual bed last night. You have no idea how good that felt. Thanks, Beautimus. I can't believe you all got any sleep last night after all that ghost stuff. I just sat on the couch with the lights on. I don't think I slept at all. I really needed some rest after, the hospital and my foot. Your body is desperately trying to get you to rest. All that activity yesterday was pretty brutal on your injury. It's never going to stop hurting if you keep pushing yourself. So, what are you not going to do today? Anything? That's right, you're staying right here. No walking around, no investigating haunted houses. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I should have been better at stopping her. I take full responsibility. As her father, I should have. No need for anyone to step in to take blame for anything. It's the hospital's fault for sending her home at all. It's gross negligence, if you ask me. But give it time. Then you can do all the activities you want. All right, Rosalina? How's Reese? He's fine. Had a rough night, but he'll recover. He's used to this sort of thing. He just needs a couple days to get back on his feet. That means no more excitement, not even a movie. I'm so sorry to hear that, Dr. Kelly. Need to get your son there. Oh, I could flirt with Dr. Kelly. Oh, Dr. Kelly. Do we be mean to her? I think she's like poisoning him or something. Should I be whiny? But what if I wanted to hang out with him again? He's so cool.
You don't always get to do what you want to do. You have to take other people's feelings into account.
Have any of you seen Stella since last night?
Not since dinner.
She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you? Have fun gaming! Nope, we have no clue where she's gone. That's not good. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I feel terrible. I should have done a better job warning her.
Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you were going to be able to stop her.
There's no way you could have known how she would react when she found it. We found something in Oscar's house last night. A stone carving that gave me a vision about what had happened there. There was one in the mines the other night too. Both of them had a sort of pull on me. Whatever they are, there's something like them in your clinic. I felt it last night. Those things are cursed. It's only a matter of time before something terrible happens at the clinic. You and Reese have to leave immediately.
No, I don't think we will.
Just because you've decided to try and involve yourself in everyone's problems doesn't mean you want to invade I want you to invade my space and try to deconstruct the life I've built. All of it based on what? A feeling?
Leave us alone. My son and I are fine without your help. But if something does happen to the clinic, aren't you worried about Reese? If it's anything like what happened to us last night?
He'll be fine. If something happens, I can take care of him, so none of you need to come snooping around. Guessing Charlie didn't come back for an encore? But as far as I know, I slept in Rosalina's room, and I made sure to put some heavy objects on top of the hatch just to give myself a little extra peace of mind. But nothing happened. That's good enough for me.
I didn't see anything either, but if something did happen, I wouldn't know. I was asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. I'm too tired to worry about ghosts anymore, to be honest.
Using a limb will do that, especially if you decide to tromp around the next day like nothing happened.
I would have been fine if it weren't for Charlie.
Good thing he's gone then. Let's hope he stays gone. Oh, so Dr. Kelly is totally acknowledging that that a ghost existed.
Wait, Oscar, did you tell Dr. Kelly about...
Yeah, I told her everything.
He did. I'm sorry. What happened?
Dr. Kelly's steely gauge is impenetrable. It's possible to tell she genuinely believes Oscar's story or she's decided she'd be better off humoring him. Are you gonna start poison? I can accuse her of poisoning Rosalina. I'm not gonna say shouldn't you'll be traumatized. That doesn't... I don't know if I want to accuse Dr. Kelly here. Remain silent.
So, you have gotten your meds, you've got your nest of pillows, a helpful friend by your side, and a cat to keep you company.
Seems like you're all set. Make sure you do a whole lot of nothing today.
I will. Bye, Dr. Kelly.
Yes, thanks again for coming to see us, Joanne.
Not a problem. I'd much rather she stayed put than have to get in and out of cars. I'll call later today to see how things are going. Hope the rest of the week is less eventful for the both of you. Goodbye, Rosalina. Make sure you stay put and keep Pixel company, okay?
Dr. Kelly's features harden once again as she steps towards the door. And then she pushes past you to leave Oscar's house. We'll let you kids have some space. Alexis, why don't you figure out a restful activity for you and Rosalina?
Will do, Mr. Gutierrez. I brought some video games and puzzles for my house, and some movies too. Whatever you want to do, Rosalina.
Oscar ushers you back down to the library. What's up?
Is everything okay?
Yes, everything's fine, or at least much better than yesterday. Can't thank you well enough. I like to be as helpful as I can from here on out. Now that our little situation is dealt with, I'll finally have time to dig into the town archives. Our house was haunted because someone was murdered there. The mine collapse the other night was at the site of a mass grave. With enough research, maybe we'll be able to get a step ahead of the next crisis. Maybe we can actually preempt it. That is, assuming there's going to be a next crisis. If something tells me we aren't in the clear yet. We should compare notes. Not that I have any to start with, but if you know anything that might narrow down my research, it could save me a lot of time.
I don't think we actually know much more than you do, but I've got some hunches. Can't help but feel like there must have been some inciting event, since everything started getting weird seemingly overnight. What that inciting event was, or where to start looking for it, I have no idea. It's something to keep in mind.
There's a root cause for all of this. Hopefully there's a way to put the genie back in its bottle. Going to do my best to find out if there has ever been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. Those carvings I warned Dr. Kelly about are important. Do you think there was something like that under my house all this time? And do you think someone must have put it there? But who? There's one in the mines, and if you're right, there's one in the clinic. Maybe that's what I should be focusing on right now.
How many of those things are there?
If we're lucky, maybe it's just those 3, but I'd rather not count on it.
If the ghost is really gone, we should look at the carving, right? Not that I want to go back into that creepy basement, but that thing has to be the most solid lead we have at this point, right?
Not a chance. I know the ghost is probably gone for good, but that thing is evil, and if there's even the slightest chance that going back there will trigger something, it's not worth disturbing. At least not until we know more.
But if this is our only chance to...
My daughter's safety comes first right now. We finally have our house back, and I'm not taking any risks until we know what we're dealing with. I think Dr. Kelly is hiding something. Oh, a new follower. Thank you for the follow. I think Dr. Kelly is hiding something. Dinner last night was weird. I don't think we need to go around accusing anyone of being deceitful. Alex, hello. How are you? Oh, you're heading to bed? Hope you have a good night.
No, Butamus is definitely right. I know that's probably not great to hear, but since Rosalina really needs her right now, but something is up with Dr. Kelly. I'm worried about Reese.
Oh, I've been loving this game. I can't wait for all the episodes to come out. Maybe when they're all out, I'll do another playthrough with some different traits. But it's a wild ride. It's been a real wild ride. I request we drop this line of thinking. We don't need to turn on each other based on pure speculation. Besides, she took me at my word about everything that happened last night. That has to count for something, right? Make sure Pixel stays inside or he might get grabbed by ditchlings. The ditchlings are those things from the woods, right? Those faces?
Snatch animals to do some parasitic egg-laying thing, so unless you want one of those things to pop out of Pixel, you better keep him where he's safe.
Will do. Can't imagine how devastated Rosalina would be if something were to happen to him, especially after everything she's been through. I wonder if this could be the work of some sort of cult.
You mentioned something like that at the library the other day. If there was a cult in Scarlet Hollow, I feel like I'd know about it.
And for all I know, you're all in on it. Kanika laughs.
Butamus, you're so funny. Wait, you're for real? No, I'm not part of a cult.
Nor am I, or anyone else I know.
As someone who's lived here my whole life, I sincerely doubt that there's anything remotely culty going on here. Which I know is exactly what a cultist would say, but take my word for it, no one in town is going to try to wickerman you.
I think Sybil knows more than she's letting on. She wants me to come talk to her today.
I know we've been over this, but I still think like you're barking up the wrong tree. Why would my mom hide anything from us?
She's always had a strange air about her, hasn't she? I'd be interesting to know what exactly she intends to discuss with you, Butamus. I have a feeling she has more than tea to offer. Whatever we're doing next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella, and fast.
I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing. Let us know what you find.
I will. You pause before leaving, your eyes lingering for a moment. If there's anything else you'd like to say to Oscar, you should say it now before you leave. Do we flirt with Oscar?
Oscar, could I talk to you in private for a minute?
In private? Sure, I can spare a minute. There's a nice secluded spot around the corner.
I'll do your thing. I'll catch up with you after.
Oh! You follow Oscar to a quiet space by the edge of the woods. What are you doing, Kitty? Kitty, I'm trying to have a moment with Daddy, and you're covering up the camera. Is there something wrong? I'm not the only one who feels something here, right? Oscar blushes and looks off in the distance. No, you're not. It's funny, we spent so little time together, but we've somehow managed to leave a permanent mark on each other's lives. You followed my daughter into the pit of a collapsing mind to help her save her friends. Oscar pauses, pulling back his glasses to wipe a tear from his eyes. She's going to struggle physically for the rest of her life, and while I wish I could have stopped that from happening, she is alive. Probably the only reason that's true. And then, last night, you were tormented and trapped in a hell dimension because of something you didn't even know happened. You had nothing to do with, all because I couldn't handle it on my own. But you got our house back. That ghost scared me so bad I took my daughter and ran, and you just stood up and yelled it into submission. I haven't been able to stop thinking about you. You're the kind of person I want to be. Tip, dialogue options marked romance will start a romantic arc with the character you're talking to, and will lock you out of romantic arcs with other characters. We barely know each other. Maybe we should fix that. I was thinking the same thing. Now, probably isn't the best time with Stella missing, but maybe tomorrow we could go on a proper date and actually get to know each other. Break will end the romance arc. Oh, what are you doing, Kitty? Not right now, Kitty. This is very important. I'd love to. I got the achievement Dream Daddy, and this is a dating sim, right? Really? That's great. I'd better get back to my daughter, and you better get back to looking for Stella. But tomorrow... He pulls out a scrap of paper and scribbles something on it before handing it to you. Here's my number, text me anytime, I'll be around. And assuming things have settled down a bit, maybe we can grab coffee at the diner and actually get to know each other. And hopefully by then, I'll have found something that can help with the whole town-wide mystery situation. We got more private time with Oscar. And he's like half laying off my lap. He's like, Dad, I don't care that you're trying to romance an NPC. I need to clean myself. This is more important. Cat sore. Whatever you're doing, it's really hurting my knee. He always looks like right at the camera. He's so photogenic. Oscar leaves and you rejoin Kanika outside of the library. You look happy. I'm glad you and Oscar had the chance to talk about things. Let's stay focused, though. We still have to find our friend. I don't know if I trust the cops. Okay, let's go to Stella's house. Yeah, Rat, we've been running around town getting all riled up, and meanwhile she's probably just sleeping in or something. I would have checked before we met up, but I was honestly kind of nervous I might run into some other horror from beyond the veil if I went exploring on my own. Good point. You make your way towards Stella's house. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. Can I use keyboard at all? It creaks open. The interior is cold, and not just physically. There's an absence of joy and life that leaves only a chill behind. Ghost of an empty house, and the sobering dread that comes with the knowledge that your search won't end here. There's an absence of... Oh. Mystical. I don't sense anything supernatural here, but I don't like the look of this. We should go in, right? Yeah, we should go in. Okay. Whatever happened to Stella doesn't look like it happened here.
Okay, nothing unusual so far. This is a perfectly normal living room. No blood or viscera, not even a tipped-over lamp. That's good. Go to the kitchen. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple cabinets are hanging open, and a loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. Oh, and there's a picture of Gretchen. Stella's kitchen normally this messy? I wouldn't call this messy. Stella's house has always felt a little sterile to me. It feels a little too lived in, if that makes sense. Sterile and lived in isn't necessarily a combo. But maybe that's just because I've only been over when she was already expecting me. Investigate Stella's room. Make your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. Oh, look at the whole, like, lines and pictures on the wall and stuff. Cryptids. Okay. I better not hear a single comment about this room being messy. We want to check the computer. Go to check Stella's computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? It is, but we are trying to... Kanika, what if there's a clue and we miss it? What if we don't find Stella and it's all because we didn't snoop on her computer? Sure, snoop away, but I'm not gonna take part in this. Just be over here standing in the corner of the room, not looking over your shoulder. Let me know if you find anything. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. Look at all of the drawings. Oh, she did the little S thing. I remember doing this. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap with each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display. I don't know what I expect to see here, but it definitely wasn't this. How does she ever get anything done? I've got book smart. Spent plenty of time with computers and are more than capable of sifting through the chaos of a messy desktop. One folder catches your eyes, boring tax stuff. Years of helping friends with their computers have made you all too familiar with this folder. Boring tax stuff never contains boring tax stuff. For that matter, it never contains anything related to taxes, and its contents are never boring. Is it porn? Oh. You open the folder, you're surprised to find it contains a carefully mapped out diagram of the Scarlet Hollow mines, including holes in fences and areas with low visibility. There's also a handful of old photos of Stella and Tabitha together as teenagers. Tabitha wears an uncharacteristic grin and authentic joyful smile, and Stella's eyes are somehow brighter, less tired. Both of them seem to be living in a happier time. Let's check your open tabs. Take you all day to count the number of open tabs in Stella's browser. So numerous are her tabs that you can't even see a single icon. A sea of rounded, featureless triangles from Windows Edge to Windows Edge. Your most recently opened tab is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, a forum for cryptozoology enthusiasts. You visited Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm in the past. Despite the name and despite the fact that posters call themselves Carl's Big Feet, the community takes itself very seriously, and it's one of the more consistently active cryptid boards on the web. The post in question is titled, "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow." Hey, everyone was out chasing a skunk ape sighting the other day and found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard them before. Anyone have any good leads? Camera isn't shaky enough, this is totally staged. Clean footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of, except for your friend's mom. The only thing I'm seeing when I Google ditchlings is some city in England. Thought you were legit. Guys, since when did high quality footage count as something other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Since every low-budget horror movie has started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. I'm serious. I've got a ton of extra footage. Look at what they've been doing to the animals in town. They're apparently some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. Mothstan likes Mothman, of course. I believe you. Lucky you're following...
You're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. Sick. What does that mean? It doesn't look like an abbreviation. The sick you see in quoted text marks a spelling or grammatical error. It means that it was quoted verbatim. Okay. The thread continues into the next day. Hey, okay, so one, this isn't an arg I would never, and two, you're not going to believe this, but we went to the abandoned mine last night and investigate things. I'm pretty sure we found some Tommy knockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape. There's a link to an audio file titled Tommy Knockers Real.wave. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real. 2 supernatural events back-to-back nights. So fake. I can't believe I bought into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it. YouTubers are always going to sell out to the big indie horror. This is Kidnapped by Aliens all over again. Also, LOL doughy white things and now loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? An ARG, okay. Stop cyberbullying her or I'm going to call the mods. Blocking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban, no cyberbullying and no self-promo. The thread ends. Let's check the search history. Since Tuesday night. She came home last night, she didn't touch her browser. Okay. Entirely work-related. Okay. This is a waste of time. Let's get out of here. Ew, good. It's a mess. Do you think there is a struggle in here? You're just saying that to tease me at this point, aren't you? I should clean my room, but just in case I go missing. Anyway, this isn't that messy. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. She still does those corkboard with string things. She loves putting strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyway. Okay, I don't think we're gonna find much else here. Let's move on. Okay. So she's not here, and we still have no idea where she is. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I thought she would have been sleeping in or something. I can't believe she's actually missing. Where to next? We should go to the cops, right? That's not a terrible idea. I'm sure they won't be much help, but we are dealing with a missing person, and that's cop stuff. Hopefully they don't give you a hard time. They've really been on your ass. I don't really want to go to the cops, but... Oh, Bo's here? Police station is exactly what you would expect from the town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You entered to find a worried Bo standing between you and the officers behind the desk. Let me get this straight. You're trying to report a missing pumpkin? Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, sure, Fugby, sir. She's going to be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to me. Are you sure Julius and not some enterprising bear that got a hold of it? Are you sure it was Julius? Y'all know Julius thinks that land belongs to him. Probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so as far as all I know, he might be all the way to the state fair by now with our pumpkin. Ain't there something y'all can do about it? I'm afraid we'll need at least some evidence to go on before we can go barging into a man's home, son. Why don't you see if you can find something a little more solid for us to go on? Then we can see about helping you out. Bo, did you manage to find your dad? Bo's stoic expression breaks, and for a moment you can almost see tears forming in his eyes, but he blinks them away. No, I ain't found him. Had to stop looking so I could stay home and guard the farm. There are more of those things every minute, it seems like. You think they'll go back to where they came from soon? They will, once they've had their fill of suffering. I don't much like the sound of that. It's okay, Bo. I'm sure things will come back to normal soon. So sorry for everything you've had to go through. I don't really want to ask them about her cold. Stella ran off last night. She's still missing. She isn't at home and none of us have heard from her. She what now? Oh, that's just our Stella always running off. Don't worry too much about it. She'll turn up. It's a different Earl. You know I wouldn't be up here bothering you if it wasn't important. And there's a whole lot of them things out there. Too many of them. Bo's right. She shouldn't be off on her own when there's so many ditchlings creeping around in broad daylight. Ditchlings? Eudemus taught me about them yesterday. They were them creepy little things that got my daddy. Called about them last night, too, since they've been coming up out of the woods onto the farm. Even saw some on my way here, plain as day. Oh, we've been getting a lot of calls about those. Guess Scarlet Hollow has either been invaded by ghouls or we're all suffering some kind of mass hallucination. I may have even seen one or two myself. All the same, I don't see what we're supposed to do about them or about Stella. She's a grown woman, and if she wants to go off to the woods for a bit, we don't need to go after her like she's missed curfew. It's a free country. There are critters bothering folks and stealing livestock. Ain't y'all supposed to take care of them? Now, son. We ain't animal control. We're the police. Are you kidding me? This town doesn't even have an animal control department. Well, maybe it should get one. What's all this about a pumpkin? Seems like Bohill misplaced a considerably large pumpkin. Have you all heard a word I said? I didn't misplace Big Betty, she was stolen. And I know who done it. And I'd appreciate if you'll give Mr. Tremaine a visit to set things straight. And I'm telling you, we can't barge into your neighbor's house just because you want us to. What makes you think Mr. Tremaine stole it? You're poking a wasp nest, Beautimus. There's 100 years of history here. He's been claiming Big Betty has been his since day one, on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. The Galloways and the Tremaines have been at this a long time. They can never agree on whose land is whose. This ain't the first time we've heard something like this, and we get our fair share of calls from Julius Tremaine, too. I'm sorry for everything that's happened, Bo. I appreciate that, thank you. Try not to let it get to me. Gotta be strong for Mama now that it's just the two of us. Looks like you folk are busy. We'll be on our way. Well, that's a total waste of time. Bobo finds his pumpkin. Where to next? I don't know if the diner will help. I do not want to go to the... Well, we could go to the church and check out the creepy guy. So if there are cultists, it's either the policeman or the church dude. We should check out the church. Church? What? Do you think Stella started to get religious all of a sudden? She seemed really shaken up. It's not unlikely. You're right. Stranger things have happened. Let's make it quick, though. I don't want him trying to rope me into some church event. Nick leads the way, taking you up the gradual slope towards the church. Alright, where's that weirdo? My, 3 visitors at once, on a Thursday. This is unprecedented. 3 visitors at once? But there's only 2 of us. Oh no, were we followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by Wayne? Double people. Oh, it's just Zane. What are you doing here? All the glimpses of death I've had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. Wanted to see if Faith held any answers for me. Oh, that's a creepy smile. Alas, I've not yet found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a little while for the Lord to work his way into your heart, and when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you, and of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night and no one has seen her since. I'm starting to get pretty worried. We'd hoped maybe you or Janie had seen her. I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've never seen neither hide nor hair of Stella. We'd like to talk to my wife. She says over by the alpacas. Though, Butamus, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. What do you have to say to him that you can't say in front of me? Please, if you wouldn't mind, this is a personal matter. Personal for whom? I'd rather folks not pry on this. You know how rumors get started. Sure. It's okay, I'm happy to talk to him. If you're sure. I guess I'll leave you to it while I check in with Janie. Be right over there by the fence if that's conveniently in your line of sight, okay? I don't like this, but I really want to know. Kanika heads off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor. I'm so glad you decided to come up to visit me. So many young people these days seem to think they can solve all their problems on their own. Meanwhile, God is right there ready to help them. They'd only let him into their hearts. Pastor's eyes dart back toward the alpacas. Okay, good. They're gone. You're new in town. What kind of impression did I make on you? Am I creepy? Whenever I see you, it's like this ominous little piano starts playing. I have to pick that option. You know, I have to say mystical. Whenever I see you, it's like this ominous little piano starts playing. You're talking about a metaphorical piano, right? Because you can't say I've ever heard one following me around. It wasn't always like this, you know. Believe it or not, before I moved to Scarlet Hollow, I used to be pretty popular. I was one of the cool kids over at Harvard Divinity School. He's interrupted by the sounds of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush at the edge of the property. Tulip, come out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good, or are we going to skip story time tonight?
I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go into the woods, I promise.
I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time they got fed. You can give them hay. Tulip smiles broadly, seemingly excited by the prospect, and hurries off. Sorry I had to give a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into the woods a lot lately. It's really dangerous, even for adults. There's this massive trash dump not too far past the trees, but it must be at least 50 years old. It's all grown over and looks like a part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. Tulip made up some imaginary friends and keeps telling us they want her to go out there, like the word of some fictional creature she made up is going to convince us it's a good idea for her to play in somebody's old garbage. That sounds very sus. They might not be imaginary. Tulip may be seeing stuff. But she's 7. Of course she would want to get some Of course she would get some funny little idea like that. I'd love to get the community to rally around a big cleanup. It's about time somebody got rid of all that junk. Oh, Tetanus Lake. Stella told me about that. Tetanus Lake? That's an accurate name. I wonder if Tulip would stay away if I started calling it that, or if it'd only make it sound more alluring. What's that you were saying about imaginary friends? Oh, she's just been talking about these friends of hers lately. Little stories about creatures that live in the church. I'm sure she saw some animal in there and decided it was her friend. It's nothing to be overly concerned about, except the trash heap situation. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kanika walking back to the two of you. She must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we better get going. Hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yes, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let you all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. Alright, thanks. See ya. Dang, we didn't really figure out what was going on with Pastor Daniel. He said he used to be popular, but he was popular at a church school. So when he comes here and people aren't super religious, yeah. Maybe that's it, but it still doesn't explain the ominous piano music. Kanika starts back down the path to town and you follow. Okay, now that you've put some distance between us and the church, what did he want to talk to you about? He didn't say anything weird, did he? Tulips apparently made some weird imaginary friends. We might want to check it out later this week. Kids make up imaginary friends all the time. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where to next? Diner, mines... Guess we could try the diner. Let's check out the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Feels like you walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners and they're having what seems to be an intense discussion. Oh, I've just realized I've left cat cam on up. Their expression's gravely serious. Hey, it's Butamus and Kanika. Long time no see. Hope the town's been treating you well. Are we interrupting something? Of course not. Everyone's welcome here. Just be careful not to step on any toes. Things have gotten a little tense over the past couple days. I think Katzer wants to play fetch. I think this is the kind of game that I can play fetch. I can do some fetch while still playing. The miners and back were too engaged in conversation to notice you enter, and instead of speaking in hushed voices, they argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. Oh. Wait, where is it? I saw you in it. Oh, okay. Oh, dang it. I don't think you can see the stairs very well. Oh. There we go. Sure, the shift schedules are tough, but sure we don't get enough time off for me to see my family as often as I'd like, but this is the best job I can get right now. Ugh. Listen, kid, you're only a year or so into this gig. Trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you think you can weather it till you find something better. A paycheck's a paycheck. I get it. But the next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses up every free second it can suck out of its workers and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much we can ever save enough to get the hell out. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if the might pick that up or not. Dax, we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. My sister needs the paycheck. I'm the only reason she can afford her tuition right now. I can't get fired. Oh, my arm's starting to hurt. And this job still has its perks, like the company housing. I can't afford my own place and send money back home. I don't know where I'd live if I didn't have this job. Try the other bar. Oops. Right, the company housing. How generous of the big boss to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had proper maintenance done in decades. You know she uses that housing as an excuse to pay us less. And the company housing, that means almost nobody in this whole damn town owns the place they live. That's why the Scarlets can keep getting away with whatever they want. Dax, we don't have the number. Oh. Okay. Dax, we don't have the numbers, man. You know this is risky. Riskier than most of us can afford. We would have the numbers if y'all would stand with me and not let management's scare tactics get to you. It's not scare tactics. People like her now. That woman ran into a collapsing coal mine and saved 3 children from being buried alive. I feel you, I really do, but how are we supposed to organize a strike against a town hero? Are you trying to tell me that a mine collapsing less than 2 days ago is why you don't want to strike? It's a bad time, Zax. Oh. Oh, you death rolling me? And then you need scritches. It's always a bad time, Baker. Doesn't make whose name is on the deed for the place. Without us, there is no mine. We've got him against the ropes. We can't back down now or they'll come out swinging. Hey, have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. Miners turn towards the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison. The YouTuber? We ain't seen her. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. Hope she's okay. She hasn't been around, but I'll let you know if I hear anything. I guess we should get going. Turn around and leave the diner, Kanika trailing close behind you. Still no sign of Stella. Supposed to get tea with your mom today. Maybe she'll have some ideas. Sure, we can humor her. She's probably going to give you some rocks or bundles of herbs for protection or something, which might actually work, who knows. Guess there's only one way to find out. The bells of the general store chime welcomely as the two of you enter.
Kanika. Kanika, there you are. You were supposed to stay in bed today, remember? And hello, Beautimus. Hope you're sufficiently recovered from last night's fiasco. I'm sorry, Mom, it's just that Stella's missing and, Stella can take care of herself, unlike you. You need bed rest and lots of fluids. You don't need to go running around town spreading that cold of yours. Go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. Thought you had some kind of important thing to talk to Beautimus about. I'm really feeling okay. I really want to hear what you wanted to say to him. I'll just be it, doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Bye, Beautimus.
Kanika turns and heads towards the stairs without saying another word. Mystical, there's something off here. It's as if Kanika's spirit dimmed at Sybil's words. Is that how she does her magic? She do like some kind of word magic? Dang it, don't I have cough drops or something? That's not the mute button. Games with a lot of reading put a lot of strain on my throat. So I have to keep it, like, well lubricated and menthol drops and tea.
Shall we?
Sybil motions towards the tea room. Explore Mystical. What did you do to Kanika?
Do? It almost sounds like you're accusing me of something. The only thing I did was tell her she should rest as any mother would. And she listened, as any child would.
Let's follow Sybil to the tea room.
Please have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup.
You take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. It's dark here. Only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plant in the corner. It's castor bean, an incredibly toxic plant and strange for a tea maker to keep around her workspace. I'm feeling kind of nervous now. Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying earth.
I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat?
Some of the plants in here are toxic. Castor bean and the oleander in the corner behind me, they can produce ricin and rat poison respectively. It just seems like strange plants for a person who makes presumably edible teas to have them lying around in the open.
Aren't you sharp? I'm an appreciator of plants regardless of whether they can be used in tea.
Oleander's blooms are beautiful, and castor bean has such massive leaves.
You have to admit it makes for an impressive plant.
And they're both perfectly harmless so long as no one goes munching them.
I keep those separate from the garden out back just for that reason, so no one confuses them for something edible.
Winky face. Sip the tea. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal. You find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. Is it marijuana? There is something you don't like about the feeling. It's too soothing. You don't doubt there's something magical at work in this blend. So how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow?
Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hill folk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They'd have to figure out their own medicine.
The other day you promised to tell me, what was it, unsavory tales of my mom's youth?
I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Her land was a lot like her great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say, she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother isn't a shrinking Violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel.
Why were Perlaine and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother?
Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor.
What do you know about my grandma?
I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you.
I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children.
Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother.
I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist?
I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenaged fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar to Vivian, for she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it, what with skipping town and all.
What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant?
She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed your mother's worries had to do something with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it's stuck in my mind. It always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby.
If you have something to say, come out and say it. What's with all the mystery and ritual? If you have something to tell me, just come out and say it.
I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea leaves should help to give me the full picture.
Oh, I don't want to finish the tea. You close your eyes and take another sip, and then another. It's delightful. Gonna put me to sleep, isn't it? The tea is gone before you know it, and a small cup empty save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom.
Oh good, glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. Should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business.
Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge.
Oh dear, this doesn't bode well.
You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of the cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass.
All of these mean death, misery, difficulty, but the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here. A cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight.
That could be Wayne, Stella, Canuna, Oscar, Reese, Avery, Dr. Keller, Pastor Daniel. How do you know you're not the cat? I'd like to see. I'm sure it wouldn't make much sense to most people. It'll probably just look like a confusing mess full of leaves, but you're free to take a look. You take the cup, staring down into it. It's just leaves, there's no pattern, nothing swimming together in the dregs of your tea to give you any warnings or premonitions. For a long moment, Sybil takes the cup back from you. I hope that settled your curiosity. Don't worry if you couldn't make sense of it. It takes years to learn this sort of thing, even for someone with your propensities. She winks conspiratorially. Do I accuse Dr. Kelly or Pastor Daniel? The cat could be Pastor Daniel. There's something wrong with that poor young man, isn't there? I don't think there's actually a bad bone in his body. There's just something perennially off-putting about him. His whole situation's rather unfortunate. The cat requires a level of closeness I don't think the good pastor is really capable of. Not to be rude or a gossip, but I don't think he has a single friend in town other than his wife and daughter. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Someone close by. Hold on. Oh, these are major decisions. Arthur the ghost into unhunting the library. She's kind of a bitch. Who, Sybil? The cat requires a level of closeness. Yeah, Sybil is someone who says, kind of like to say things as they are, but I feel like there's something unusual going on with her. She did drug me, even though I had no choice but to drink it. Someone, a level of closeness. A cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight. Someone who's close to me. Well, the people I'm close to are, in this playthrough, are Asuka, Tabitha, Stella, and Kanika. And neither of them have really seemed like an enemy. Just be on guard and keep vigilant, for someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely to be connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we could try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out, piece together what you can from your visions, and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to the door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. Is she just trying to make me not trust my friends? What is she up to? And she and Wayne don't really seem to be getting along. Wayne's the other kind of supernatural entity, but he's a little more... Wayne is a little bolder. But he said if anything... Wayne said to her, if anything happened to me, there'd be hell to pay. Well, I mean, I'm a Scarlet, but maybe something my mom did has made me like a... I don't know. But bad stuff always happens around them. What happens around these stones might not be anywhere close to what could happen if we let the danger encroaching on both of you in this town act unopposed. The ditchlings are multiplied every day. This is all going to come to a head, and it may be a question of how prepared you are when it comes. Learning whatever you can could save your life. You even if you're faced with more ghosts or ghouls along the way. I think that's all the help I can offer. This conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. Thanks, I'll let you know if I find anything. Glad to hear it. Hope all goes well, and I wish you luck. Hopefully you won't need it. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. Small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful of who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce. And merely being ready for it might not be enough. Are we saying that she's full of shit? There's definitely way more to her than what meets the eyes. Sybil closes the door to the tea room and the bells of its store strangely flat in the stale air of a nearly empty general store. Let's check in with Kanika. You're not going anywhere for checking in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. You knock on Kanika's door. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just gonna lie down for a while. I'm not your mom. Oh, Butimus, what's up? I'm going to the clinic. I was hoping you would join me. Sorry, Butimus, my mom was right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push it, or I'll much worse than off tomorrow. Dang it, Sybil used the voice on her. Looks like you're on your own. Also, but also old people are notorious for pooting. You make your way out of the general store and down the road to the clinic. You make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. Oh boy, it's playing the... Wait, you dropped it right at the door, buddy. It isn't long before you find yourself outside Dr. Kelly's clinic, its secrets enticing you to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. Like a magnet has been fixed to your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you toward whatever emits this compulsive frequency. Oh, did Sybil put a suggestion in me? You found at times that if you haven't wished to be seen, there's been nothing stopping you from remaining hidden. Graveyards, abandoned buildings, old tunnels. You've been in all sorts of strange and unusual places without incident, and for some reason, tonight, Dr. Kelly's clinic feels no different. You haphazardly make your way up to the old wooden stairs of the clinic's wraparound porch, taking steps in strange patterns. To an outside observer, you might appear to be drunk, but there's an unconscious method to your conscious madness, though even you would be hard-pressed to describe it. There's no creak or moan of ancient wood as you make your way to the door. Silence. You push the door open slowly and slip in. You can see the doc at a desk in some room down the hall. She hasn't noticed you. You shut the door silently, watching her closely. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. You're here now, and it knows you're here. You know exactly what it is, another stone carving, eager to show you its secrets. You've been caught by its gravity and overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar as if it's inviting you to enter. What the fuck? This isn't... That's Reese on a morgue table. What the fuck? Okay, kitty. You ready? The lights click on. You're in the morgue. Butimus, what are you doing in the morgue? What are you doing sleeping in a morgue? Where'd it go? I'm sure it looks weird. It's not like I expected anyone to come down here. I was just, practicing. A rehearsal, if you will. Rehearse, you say? Good one. His words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance. Your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. Follow the pull. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Hey, are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment, the thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its pull on you. You kinda looked possessed for a second there. You good? Make him understand. Use your words, don't let this fervor consume you. Be present in the moment. You inhale deeply and take in your surroundings. You can't help but notice that one of the body storage doors is labeled Pearl and Scarlet. Examine your aunt's dead body? You step forward and pull out the drawer. This is your Aunt Perlan, cold baroness with the scarlet minds and local she-devil that it seemed no one, not even her own daughter, was able to mourn. This is not the first corpse you've seen, but it feels the same as any other. She's an empty body now, the warmth and energy of life now dissipated, the same as your mother was, and the same as you'll be one day. Cold air rises from her bluish skin, her vacant, filmy eyes staring at nothing. Try to imagine what she may have looked like alive and breathing, slinging subtle insults at the townsfolk, but it's hard to picture any expression on a face so stiff and cold with death. Making sure she didn't walk off? I wouldn't be surprised if she did. A judgmental zombie would just be my luck. That would suck. Zombies are so overdone. If supernatural shit is gonna keep happening in Scarlet Hollow, I hope it's something more original than that. But I'll make sure the doc locks the drawer from now on, just in case. Having seen what there was to see, you slide the drawer back in and close it. The mines had a stone carving the other night, as did Oscar's house yesterday. They've been giving me visions, and I can sense one on the other side of this wall. I need to see it. Reese glances back at the wall. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but you really need to get in there. I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the doc out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. Get the doc out of our hair? Yeah, if I say I'm sick and need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire way to get her out of the house. And most of the time it's true anyway. How'd you learn that little trick? When you're a teenager whose doctor mom won't leave you alone for 2 seconds, you learn how to make it happen. Sounds great, lead the way. Sweet, be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear a soft voice filtering in through the opening doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom. He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally keep some juice down. It looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I'd just pick some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice, and some ginger ale, too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked! Theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up, we don't have long until she's back. You step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. One of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doc's office first. Make your way through the doorway of her now vacant office. I don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. Something on the desk catches your eye, some sort of records with your family's name on them. Bree stops in the doorway, turning to watch you leaf through the documents. Find something interesting? They're your family's death certificates. Cause of death, sleep apnea. Discovered by her daughter, Tabitha Chrysanthemum Scarlet, no autopsy. Tabitha's middle name is Chrysanthemum? No wonder who cursed her with that mouthful. Thanks for the hug, Tons. I feel like that was forbidden knowledge. Edwardine Scarlet. Born died. Heart failure signed by Parlan. Pretty normal, almost made it to 90. Died of a normal old person illness. Enoch Scarlet. Cause of death, fall from cliff. This one has a coroner's report attached. Organ sustained impact injuries, lacerations to neck and body consistent with fall from great height. Whoa, an actual autopsy report. Looks ancient. Quickly flip through a few other Scarlets whose names aren't as familiar. Theodore? Crushed in mine collapse, body not recovered. That's right, you had a great uncle who died in the collapse. Joseph Scarlet died. Louis Scarlet. Both killed in Normandy in the line of duty. Must have been Edwardine's brothers. Certificate of fetal death, infant boy, Andrew Charles Scarlet. Stillbirth, mother, Edwardine. Cause of death, complications during birth, no doctor present, home burial. That settles the question of whether you're related to Charlie. Alexandra Scarlet. And my missing, presumed dead, signed by Edwardine. But missing the same day Enoch died in a hiking accident. Mary Bell Scarlet. Cause of death, complications during childbirth. Wow, that's a lot of kids to outlet. So there's a lot of death in the Scarlet family, and this main character is a Scarlet. You turn around and leave the office. It's time to move on. Medical supply room is probably a good bet. The fire axe seems like something that might be useful in a room full of chemicals. It's just down the hall. There it is. Looks like it needs a key, though. Better not break the glass. I'd rather explain why I had to steal the fire axe after we've had a chance to use it. There must be a key in here somewhere. You stops if you're listening to something you can't hear. Shit, she's back already. To find Q, you hear the front door to the clinic open and close, the creak of its antique hitches echoing down the hallway. Footsteps start down the hall. She's headed this way. Quick, we gotta hide. I'm not supposed to be in here. He opens the closet door and hurriedly motions you inside. You slip past him, scrunching into the small space as best you can. He attempts to slide in after you. You make space and he slips in next to you, closing the door just enough that you can both still monitor the entrance to the supply room. Dr. Kelly storms in, plastic bag in tow. She takes something out of the bag and places it on the counter. Then she hurries back out, bag rustling as she makes her way back down the hallway. You better wait a second just in case. Two of you stand in tense silence, both crammed into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths as if she could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards, broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. His head swivels suddenly. That was the door to the house. We're in the clear. Let's go. The two of you spill out of the closet. Reese quickly and quietly starts pulling out drawers, scanning them for keys. You can't help but notice what Dr. Kelly left on the long steel table in the middle of the room. A sprig of small, furry fruits. Castor beans. You've seen them elsewhere in town, but for the life of you can't remember where. In Sybil's office? Why did your mom get castor beans? Yes, found the keys. He holds up a small ring of keys, each with a strip of colored tape to the head on the head. Whoa, what's this about beans? Oh, those weird little fruit things. Reese unlocks the cabinets and offers you the fire axe. He looks very happy. Here's your axe. And I don't know, I've never seen them before. I'm not allowed in the supply room. Probably some kind of medicinal plant, right? She took out a chemistry set too, though, come to think of it. She's not supposed to make medicine. She's not a pharmacist. This room is just storage for orders she gets from a pharmacist over in Brevard. Why would she bring something like that in here? Castor beans make ricin, a deadly poison. She's not making it though, right? Why would she make that? She's a doctor. Do you know what she gives you for your supposed illness? No, I don't know. She never explained it. I thought it was just too complicated for me to understand, so she didn't bother. She has some kind of information on it lying around here somewhere. That drawer over there is locked. If I were information on some mysterious alien-looking fruit, I'd probably be in a locked drawer, right? You think I already have the keys? He unlocks the drawer, pulling out a notebook. This is about me. There's stuff in here from when I was like 12. It's some kind of diary or medical history, or both, I guess. What the hell is this? Something about another episode? Guessing she's referring to one of my rough nights. Oh, here we go. There's some illustrations. He glances to the strange plant on the countertop. It's those beans you mentioned. She uses them to make my medicine. That's poison, right? He jerks his head towards the door. Shit, that was the door from the house. We've gotta run. Follow Reese's instruction, once again starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right. We did have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge, but there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go rest. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds, that's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging you listen to. You know how I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. Do you at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You don't have to do that. I'll grab something from my room later. Sure, whatever you're able to do. You hear the door at the top of the stairs close, and the sound of Reese descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Hey. I should warn you, something spooky might happen when we break down that wall. Reese smiles. Good. I feel like I've been missing out lately. Stop asking questions, it's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. Dang, the narrator's very aggressive. Wall now, yes, wall. Let's do this. I'd like to do the honors, if you don't mind. Got some confused and angry feelings I'd like to express. Reese takes the axe from you and approaches the wall. Reese manages to cut through the wall with very little effort, unexpected from someone with his frame and condition. But you know his stringy muscles are backed by a mounting fury at what's been done to him. That goes a long way. He staggers back from the massive hole in the wall and admires his work. Holy shit! Splintered edges frame a dark passage, seemingly cut into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from a forgotten place into the already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthy mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. With the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward. You climb into the hole. Ooh woo. I don't like the music. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing, rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. Someone doesn't want us to find these carvings. I wonder if it's whoever put them there, or if it's someone else. Whatever their reason, they went to a lot of effort to hide this one. I wonder if the doc even knows about this wing. You step forward into the unknown. You don't bother to retrieve the axe. The final wall concealing the carving is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years, the planks nearly reduced to sawdust. What if the person who hid these carvings knew they were dangerous and was trying to protect people from them? And I'm here stirring stuff up? You tear into it. Enoch, I thought you were going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I going to do? Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research and I found us an alternative. We won't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. I went to talk to the witch. A witch? But that's nonsense. It's alright, it's all sorted. We're taking you home today and everything will be resolved by this time next week. Enoch and Teddy. That's right, Doctor. At this point I think it's safe to say his body was never recovered. What? Whoever it was claimed to be Theodore, but it wasn't him. It wasn't even paralyzed, as it turns out. Just some grifter trying to take advantage of the tragedy. What? So did Enoch kill Teddy? I can't remember who Enoch was, but I'm guessing it was another Scarlet. Oh. Teddy was the one who fell off the cliff? And then the coroner reported it as being thrown off the cliff, but then... What on earth? Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus. It takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Hey, I was worried you slipped into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving and collapsed. I think you might have some kind of seizure. Are you okay? I had a vision. Like a hallucination. I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just weird little things, like my hands would go wrong, and my neck would seem too long, and the room would feel smaller. Thanks for the hydrate. I think the carvings are trying to warn me about something. My family has dark secrets. An old family like yours, I believe it. Hopefully that's all ancient history, though. Wait, nothing spooky happened? The mountain didn't collapse on us? No ghosts? No, nothing. You just fell down, twitched a little, and when you seemed stable, I carried you back here. That was a few hours ago. You don't have the kind of muscle mass required for that. Huh? Why would I lie about that? I just picked you up and carried you back. It's not like I had to go very far. Does Dr. Kelly know I'm here? No, I snuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. Oh, so the house and the clinic are two different... I'm very confused by the layout of this place, but okay. Figured you wouldn't want to come too in the morgue. You didn't call an ambulance when I started seizing. Stella said you did something similar a couple days ago. I figured it might just be something that happens to you every now and then. I know I wouldn't want somebody calling an ambulance for me every time I had an episode. Going to the hospital sucks. I should probably get going. Stella's still missing and the stone here finally stopped yelling at me. That might be a little tricky. The doc is on the warpath up there. I refuse to take my medicine and she's not happy about it. I'm sure you can understand why. There was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. I've been thinking about what you said at dinner last night, and I don't see any other possibility. It's only been a day since I stopped taking my pills, and I feel great. I went ahead and blocked my door so she can't get down here. Now I just have to wait her out. You blocked your door? Of course I did. Put a chair in front of it. It's never failed me before. We don't need her coming down here to finish me off, whatever she might do now that I know that her treatment plan has been all these years. How are we supposed to get out? We'll just have to figure out a plan. I'm pretty sure I could take her, but who knows what she has at her disposal. I've got some weird memories. I always thought they were dreams or hallucinations. Now I'm not so sure. I think she's used tranquilizers on me. other times that I've gotten too unruly for her. I don't know how much of those memories I can trust, but I'm starting to think I should believe my instincts when it comes to the lengths she's willing to go to keep me under her control. What are you, though? Yeah, Reese, you're having an episode too. He's acting very different than he normally does. We'll wait until she's asleep, then we can at least get out of the basement and we can figure out what to do from there. I don't get why your mom would poison you, though. I don't know. It's all in here. She never outright says that's what she's doing. And the recipe she came up with to deal with my flare-ups, whatever she thinks those are, involves a weird plant that was once on the counter. Those castor beans, super bright, and ricin poisoning managed quite a few of my symptoms. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. Either way, I don't think I've ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. Hey, kitties. It is weird that he's so strong, though. Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed tolerance. But I think the fact that I feel more and more alive by the minute is proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. Might be able to go to the cops. But a cops? I need to get you out of here. Who knows what she'll do when she finds out what you know. Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I'd never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. One step at a time. Let's just start by waiting out your mom and getting out of here. I shouldn't call her my mom. As far as I'm concerned, she forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. You're just some woman now. Can't wait for her to be in the rearview mirror of the rest of my life. We'll see if we can wait her out. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something else out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which she always said was for burglars. Now I assume it was yet another way to keep me boxed in. We can try to break them anyway. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's a lack of poisoning in my system for the first time in years. Or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It would obviously take more than a day for ricin poisoning to be out of his system. Yeah, something... He has to be some kind of creature that regenerates quickly or something. And she used the ricin poisoning to keep him under control. Doesn't feel awful, to be honest. I believe you owe me a showing of Shi-no-Chi, Deathblood. I believe I do. Don't like how close he is to me. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people react to these sort of things I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build up is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time. What with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and of course, the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs has been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films. They're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings, and then wind up trying to back into the narrative adds a level of unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up trying... The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back to the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I find really engrossing. I found its footage used to its fullest. It's found footage used to its fullest. Okay. Reese, you're really creeping me out. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out, like watch movies with another person. Or talk to people, ever. You can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. Something is changing inside of him. Reese, you feel different, like your whole personality is changing. Is everything okay? Everything is more than okay. I haven't felt this good I don't think I've ever felt this good. A man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sort of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. Kinda like this game! And then it sees you back. Incredible, cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. Probably safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now, what with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. It's more than just something that's changing in Reese, it's everything. There's a knock on the window. Unimis. It's Wayne! Hi, Wayne Senpai! Unimis, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice. I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around? At another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside, we're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. Daddy Wayne is here to save today. What do you mean Wayne isn't gonna hurt you? He hasn't hurt anyone. Well, he stepped on the ditchling's head. I think you might be overreacting. That's only because you don't know what kind of danger you're in. I know what it's like to have my life stolen by someone else. It destroys you in every way, but I'm not weak anymore. No more cowering. If someone tries to hurt me, I should hurt them back. And I can do the same for you, Butamus. We're in this together. The window shatters. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out of the canvases. His ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds invading yours, crawling up the walls. What's that growing out of his... Is he a werewolf? Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Leave us alone. In a surge of violence, the change has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off, and Wayne along with it. Run for the stairs. You've seen enough to know you need to leave. You run up the stairs. The door is blocked by a chair, and then it's blocked by something else, too. I might be dead. Try and tear through them. You toss the chair out of the way and do your best to tear through the paintings covering the door. It reforms and regenerates too quickly for you to claw your way through. Defeated, you turn back to the basement. The remainder of Reese's paintings await their artist's command. It's okay, stay right there. I can take care of this. Then she won't be able to hurt you anymore. I'll be right back. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you alone with smears. You could call Tabitha, try to warn Dr. Kelly. You're not sure who to help. Try to follow Reese. Okay, try to follow Reese. You make your way to the door it beckons you yesterday. All intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there is a monster preparing to do something unthinkable. Open the door. You grasp the handle and turn. Well, we knew Reese was something strange. Does she have a gun? So she knew he was a thing. Is she not really his son? Oh, bye, kitty. Duck. Duck. You do as she says, ducking out of the way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud, there's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air. You turn to see the dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out of his chest, breathing heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system.
You're going to have to try harder than that, you bi-
Now, how did you... As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between the cracks in the wood, Reese's panic pulling in a mob of furious smears to hold his enemies in place. The artist darts away, but the smears continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway, and Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffened globs of paint. Go after Dr. Kelly. You run forward, braving the onslaught of the smears, dodging them as best you can as you try to see where Dr. Kelly went. In front of you is a door smothered in paint. Hey! Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Butimus. I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. I'm not helping you. You were poisoning him. You deserve to pay the price. Are you kidding me? Even after seeing what happened, he wasn't poisoned for just a few hours. Even after seeing what happened when he wasn't poisoned for just a few hours, you want to judge me for trying to protect myself in this whole damned town? Like it was fun for me to bring my own kid to the brink of death every day? Listen to me. I know how to deal with him, non-lethally. Nobody has to get hurt. I need you to get to the medicinal storage room. I'll give you further instructions when you're there. You turn back around and head to the medicinal storage room. I'm here. Great, now listen to me. You need to use the black-taped key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled carfentanil. Better tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore.
An intercom system, huh, Doc?
Good, you should hear this.
Butimus, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not gonna hurt anybody else, just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now, better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me.
We could call for help from Wayne. I'm not going to let you kill someone, Reese.
Why not? She wasn't afraid I might die. Does she know how those tranquilizers aren't going to kill me? Does she care? Trust me, Reese. I've always been careful with your medication. I want you to live. I love you. Tell yourself whatever lies you have to, Mom. If you wanted a good relationship, you had your chance, and you decided to convince me I was dying instead of letting me exist.
Oh, there's Wayne.
Don't try to spit it like some kind of crime of passion now that the consequences are staring you in the face.
Enough. Reese cries out in pain.
Ah, what the hell did you do to my shoulder?
I'll handle it. I can't remember Wayne's voice.
I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then.
The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. Oh no. Do we let her keep tranquilizing Reese? Or do we let Wayne murder Reese? Oh, I don't like this decision. I'm leaning towards not grabbing the tranquilizers. Oh, Perlux, please don't eat that. I don't think Reese deserves to die, but it's going to be a struggle. Yeah. Well, we don't know what Reese is. I mean, aren't there universes where there's creatures that are just evil and can't, basically they're unredeemable? They're always going to be dangerous and kill people kind of thing? But we don't know that. I think keeping him tranquilized is a bad idea. Because now he's pissed. Okay. You make your way out of the medicinal storage room back to the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. You approach, Dr. Kelly heaves the door open, slowly breaking apart a massive paint, sealing it shut. Hurry, I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little schmears managed to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. Sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. While you're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? Maybe if we both survive, I might decide to share a few more. If you don't go tattling to anybody. Oh. What is this room? Old x-ray room, lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote-controlled locks. Glad it could finally come in handy. Let's talk Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide. How did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different. I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. When did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, and then a few extra. Thickened nails, extra sharp teeth, elfish ears. Figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. Had him checked out a few specialists. There's nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument, and he changed right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now. Just a couple inches of facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. I was scared, and he could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, or maybe a hallucination. But the second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure that was something beyond my realm of expertise. Why did you start poisoning him? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I'll be giving him increasingly high doses of clonopin, and his body kept adapting, and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. Couldn't keep ordering all these drugs. It was already suspicious, and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it. And I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. How did you settle on Ryson? Dr. Kelly gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman. But screw it, I might die tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. It was... What the fuck just happened? Oh, with the drugs that Sybil gave us earlier, did they just keep us from hearing bad stuff about Sybil? Sybil very sus now. And that's all I have to say about that. What is he? At first I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him, or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hellbent on ripping my throat out, so I guess I'll just have to remain a mystery. Was his dad similar? Strange little smiles creeps on Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. Oh my gosh. I kept having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet, but they were just dreams. But then all of a sudden my period stopped. I got morning sickness, and roughly 9 months later, Reese. So he's an incubus? The relationship between you seems difficult. Yeah, you could say that. You were such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready. But he made me love being a mom. It's not like it was going to be sunshine and roses forever. No matter what, kids grow up and they change. Sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mom, too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't going to go around eating people. How do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number 1. It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. But every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine if this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. He's been kind to me. I can fix him? That's funny. Why not just kill him? Why not just kill him? You think I haven't tried? At the very least, poison isn't the way to do it. I haven't resorted to any violent measures. Maybe if he was weak, they knew where to hit him. Somebody could do it. But I just can't bring myself to do that kind of thing to him. I couldn't look him in the eye while I did that. And then he'd be gone. I don't want him to be gone. He's my kid. I love him so much. But your child is some kind of demon. He has a lot to offer the world, even if he's stuck in his room for the rest of his life. What's the game plan, both short and long term? Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, and I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. And we'll live happily ever after. I see no flaws with this plan. Just be sarcastic. There has to be some other way. Just going to make him feel trapped. It sure is, especially since I have to isolate him even more now that he knows what's going on. He's going to hate me. But you've got to work with what you've been given, and I've been given is an ethical dilemma where I either let my son kill me, free him to go out and kill others, or imprison him for the rest of his life and force feed him poison to keep him controllable. Or the third option, kill him. I've decided which outcome I can live with. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to you. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Dr. Kelly opens the door and the two of you stare out into the hallway. Oh. Oh, hell. Hi, Reese. Oh my gosh. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers, this is our shot. Hand over the tranquilizers, this is our shot. But you didn't take the tranquilizers, did you? Come on, what's the holdup? You stumble back into the safe room away from the open doorway and Dr. Kelly. Oh my god. You didn't get them, did you? I thought Wayne would take care of Reese. She lets out a strangled laugh. Reese pushes his now massive form into the safe room, staring down at his mother. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry you had to see that. What happened to Wayne? Wayne? Oh, I pushed him out a window. Be careful around him, messed up my shoulder somehow. Still isn't working right. He's evil, really evil. He hates me. I could feel it. Wayne seems to hate, like, all of the monsters. What is he? Something terrible. Welcome to the Dead Moms Club? Guess we all get there eventually, right? Glad it was sooner rather than later. No way I was getting out if it was long as she was around. I mean, look at this room. A prison cell, ready for its occupant. Good thing she never got the chance to use it. I don't know what to say to him. He's very dangerous. Feel better now? He sits, staring blankly for a moment, viscera still dripping from his maw. Yeah. I'd better go. But know that you have someone looking out for you in this town. Reese gets up and stumbles out of the clinic, his footsteps getting faster and faster as he runs off into his new life. Shell shocked you stumble out of the clinic and into the night air. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day. Crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream. But now that it's over, you realize how little it meshes with your understanding of the world. It's time to go home. Don't get far before you're interrupted by the jingling of dog tags. Gretchen appears at the edge of the road running as fast as her geriatric pug legs can carry her. Gretchen seems distressed. She whines and she stares up at you from the ground, eyes desperate, anxiously jumping around back and forth and darting away when you try to lean down to her. What's that, girl? Stella stuck in the well? Yeah, because Stella's been missing. You follow Gretchen. She nervously runs ahead of you the whole time, constantly looking back to make sure you're still there as she leads you into the dark woods. Oh. Before long, the trees thin, you find yourself on a steep hill by a two-laned road, lined on one side by sheer rock. There, sitting on the log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. Gretchen runs up to her and sits in Stella's lap.
Gretchen, you're back. Don't stare at me like that again.
You sit on the log beside her.
Eudemus, how did you... Wait, did Gretchen come get you? Wow, she must think I'm dying or something.
Just so happy you're okay.
Oh, you poor thing, I'm fine, but thanks for not being mad.
Do I get mad at Stella? Hyperlux. Oh! Of course you show up after the scary monster is gone, sorry. It's okay. I don't know how to react to Stella. I don't know if... Is he actually looking at the camera? That is so... You are so cute. You know that. Just want to know what happened. Please, just talk to me. Stella faces you for a moment, desperate eyes trying to force out words a part of her thought she would never have to say out loud. She turns back to the road. This is where the accident happened. My parents died on this bend in the road. They were taking me to college. I was lying in the back seat. It had just rained and the sun was finally coming out. Oh, heck. Oh, a cutscene? They're gonna be beheaded? Uh. Holy fuck, Stella. Sorry, I know that's probably a bummer to talk about.
It was awful. Really messed me up for a while. I think I'm still messed up. There's whole years of my life after the accident that feel like they just never happened. Every time I try and remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel I don't even remember filming. It's scary. It hasn't been like that for a while, thank God. Never even talked about this stuff before anyone.
Girl, you need therapy.
She needs therapy, right, Perlock? What do you think?
Okay, slowly blink your eyes and purr if you think she needs therapy.
Good, I'm glad you agree.
Thanks for letting me in.
Thanks for being patient with me.
Two of you stare out at the road.
I think the accident is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I think I just wanted to see them again. I wanted to know whether I even could. I never found anything, so I eventually gave up. And last night happened. And I ran out here to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the crash again or seeing them all messed up and dead. Just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. I don't think they're coming.
Just because they weren't there doesn't mean they don't love you, wherever they are.
That's a nice thought. I've thought a lot about what might come after. Whether they're somewhere else or if they just stopped existing. Guess we've seen at least some evidence of the afterlife. But it doesn't mean that there's a... I hope that means there's a good version too. Or they're still on that long car ride listening to Dad's tapes with a place in the back seat for me when I eventually catch up to them. And then it won't matter that I never got to say goodbye.
You'd always say goodbye now. Stella sits in silence for a long moment. Her breath slow and even.
Goodbye. I love you. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine.
She's silent again, as if waiting for a response, but it never comes. But she smiles, a lively glimmer returning to her sad eyes.
It kind of felt better. I don't think I realized how much I'm kind of trapped myself in my own head. Thank you for breaking me out of it.
She straightens up, stretching her neck. Gretchen hops down from her lap, tags jingling in the quiet night air. I'm not crying, you're crying. I am crying.
We should probably head back, right? I haven't slept in a day.
Do we tell her right now that her friend Reese is a monster, or do we wait until later? So you're going to have so much trouble to deal with for the next stage. I have to tell her. Wait, before you go, I should tell you about what happened today.
Oh?
You relay the events of the evening as best you can. Saying it out loud somehow makes it feel less real, like you're sharing the plot of a horror movie, not something that actually happened to you. She was honest, you should be too.
Oh my god. Dr. Kelly, she's just gone? And he's out there somewhere being all monstery? This is a lot to take in. I've known that guy for pretty much my whole life, and I had no idea. To think he actually killed someone. Jesus. I don't think I can really pass judgment on you helping him. I just hope he can find some peace out there. You know, I think processing just that one traumatic event is enough for the day. This new one's going right into the void. At least until we get to the end of the week. Let's get out of here. I can walk you through the woods so you don't get lost. Then I guess you should probably get back to Tabitha before you give her an aneurysm. And this is me. I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
She gives you a tired wave before retreating into her house.
Time for you to go home too.
He appears as if out of nowhere, clothes streaked with what looks like blood and gore, but you realize it's paint, evidence of his altercation with Reese.
I'll walk you.
Thank God you're okay. I was worried Reese might have gotten you. Wayne emits a strange kind of coughing sound. You realize he's laughing.
Shall we?
Wayne walks just ahead of you in near complete silence. We could flirt with... Should we flirt with Wayne? No, I don't... This isn't a flirt with Wayne playthrough. Maybe on another playthrough. Thought you wanted me to stay at the estate. Aren't you going to lecture me? You were free to make your own decisions, and those decisions have been made. I know that something pulls at you, and I know that now you cannot stop until your task is finished. I'll keep you safe while you do what you must. Did you know Reese was like that? I knew he was different. How exactly, I wasn't sure. But now I know. I should be able to make quick work of him next time. He scares me, yeah. Thanks, he scares me. If it's any consolation, I'm sure he's not long for this world. I doubt he'll have time to hurt anyone else before someone puts him down. Why are you following me around? Why not Stella or Kanika or Sybil? Why not Tabitha? Because you're special. But why? Why am I so special? You simply are. Do you not feel the ties that bind us? They are unbreakable. I found my family's death records today. Things aren't adding up. Good, you're starting to see the holes then. Look for more. You don't need to keep coming up with new topics of conversation to fill the silence. You're tired. It's been a long night. You should rest. Oh, dang it. I wanted to save my game, flirt with him, and then, like, reload. Wayne remained silent for the rest of the journey back to the estate. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that old building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you. You might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. Wayne's voice, I think, has changed the most during this whole stream. He disappears into the underbrush. He appears in the underbrush. Yeah. Go home. The estate feels empty, wind howling through its abandoned halls, and the foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. You want him in your underbrush? No, I want Oscar in my underbrush. This is an Oscar dating run. Wait, were you here when I had private time with Oscar? And Katsur was trying to cockblock me? The damp smell of mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, and at least until the sun inevitably rises again. You think for a moment about calling Oscar, but you're just too tired to even bother. No! Close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. You drift off, you think of Reese, out in the woods somewhere bloodstained and free. And then you think of nothing. This is the end of episode 4. Hamura Modoka? The artist? What is Modoka? Katsur. Who is Hedora Modoka? I was hearing that a lot on Drawfee. Of Mice and Men. I got a lot of achievements today. Wait, I started playing this last year when it first came out. I got a lot of achievements today. Let's see, what did I get? At the edge of everything, found out what happened to Stella. Dream Daddy, start Oscar's romance. Oh, I should have saved a new slot to redo to flirt with Wayne. Oh, that was a long way back though. Start Oscar's romance. Start a romance. Visit Oscar in the library. Visit the diner. Visit the church. Visit Stella on Thursday. Oh, this is Thursday. Visit the police. Snoop on Stella's computer and find everything. Drink the tea. Matricide. Read your family's medical records. Oh, who is Hamura Modoka? Maybe when the game is fully out, I'll do a Wayne run. There's a lot of There's some fun achievements here. Lie to Tabitha about locking your room after already getting caught lying to her. Pet Frou Frou more than once in episode 1. There's a lot for like, oh, do it with this. Yeah. Anyways, was Reese the cat that Sybil saw? Is there actually even a cat that Sybil saw? Is Sybil... Well, Sybil was giving the castor beans to Dr. Kelly. What if Wayne is the good guy and Sybil's the bad guy? Who knows at this point? I might have to do multiple playthroughs to really uncover all of the secrets, but oh, I've been going for almost 3 hours. The Homura thing is a Puella Magi Madoka Magica reference. Is that an anime? Puella Mad. That is a mouthful. Okay. There are so many animes I have not seen.